Hey, I should probably unmute myself first. I almost stopped the stream because I'm like, oh, I gotta transition into a actual, here's the stream sort of thing. Or a transition to where you can actually see my face, my image, whatever. And I almost hit stop streaming. And that would have been a fun episode of Dolphin's Dive. We'll start momentarily, and then the stream ends. Very anticlimactic, I would think. But hello. Hello, and welcome to Dolphin's Dive, the weekly strategically minded stream of Handelabra games. You are watching Handelabra games if you didn't, catch that by now. In particular, watching Dolphin's Dive if you haven't caught that by now. First and foremost, Handelabra believes in civil rights for everyone and in being as inclusive as possible, so any comments or activity actively working against that goal is not welcome, will not be tolerated, and will be met with a swift and powerful ban. I don't know. I have banning powers, but I don't know if I'll use them unless you make me have to use them, and I don't want to have to use them. Don't put me in that situation. Also, another letdown is here, so he could also do what he needs to do. You can follow us at Handelabra on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube, and Handelabra Games right here on Twitch. You can follow me on Twitter at LewDolphin21, on YouTube by searching for LewDolphin, and on Twitch, just LewDolphin. If you see my name in chat from time to time, feel free to drop me a follow. I sometimes stream Sentinels in the Multiverse, although it's been months, but I can do that. I always do weekly one-shot videos, and this week's was a fun one. Sentinels of the Multiverse is currently available for iOS, Android, and PC, Mac, and Linux via Steam, and always via good old analog cardboard and ink. You can get the game and more info at sentinelsdigital.com. And you can also just go to Greater Than Games and participate in the forums and that sort of thing. So, hello! Let's see, Hank Royd, Elemental Fugue, Lonep Wolf, Selfaria, M29G Gamer, Darren. More people here at the start of the stream than the past two streams, so it's exciting. I'm building an audience. I have a rapport with people, I think, maybe. Or I'm just disillusioning myself. Who knows? All I know is I am your father. Okay, no, I don't actually know. It is May the 4th, so May the 4th be with you. I was hoping to do sort of a Star Wars-y themed stream. That is made difficult by the very fact that I've only watched episode 1 of Star Wars. In other words, I've not watched Star Wars. So I don't really know much of Star Wars, except for the obvious sort of memes and jokes that have carried on throughout the years. But I do have a sort of what I imagine to be a Star Wars themed match planned for our first game. And that features Grand Warlord Voss, and because it's Dolphin's Dive, it has to be Ultimate Grand Warlord Voss, against a team of very energy-driven heroes. These are not heroes. These are the heroes. We have, first and foremost, K.N.Y.F.E, who is the master of energy. Chrono-Ranger, because he just sort of falls into these times. Not Legacy, but young Legacy, who can use her eyeballs for energy powers. I would be remiss if I didn't include Omnitron-X, also known as R2-D2, I think. And then Captain Cosmic, who is very energy-driven. And the environment is not Wagner Mars Base, because I feel like Voss and Wagner Mars Base happens far too often. Instead, we're opting for Final Wasteland. Isn't that like what Tatooine is, sort of? I don't know. I know Tatooine is a planet in Star Wars. So let's see. We have bunches of citizens. Should you? I can't speak. Just the Forsaken one. Should you search for LewDolphin or LewDolphins? It's LewDolphin singular. If there were multiple LewDolphins, there would be more than one person on stream right now, wouldn't there be? Let's see. Anything else? If I fail to read your messages, by the way, it's a little strange for me to do a game of Sentinels and read chat, because I'm used to doing like a weekly one-shot format where I play the game just by myself. But if you feel I'm missing your messages in chat, feel free to ping me at LewDolphin, and I'll read your message. It'll pop up in bright red Also probably will pop up in bright red on the, let's see, where is it? It's up there. Pop up in bright red up there as well, so you can at least see when I miss messages. But since we do seem to have more people than normal today, I feel obliged to make mention of that fact. All right. Oh, and by the way, if you're new to this sort of Dolphins Dive setup, what I like to do, the first game is predetermined. I set this up. I played this game a few times. I sort of know how it works. And I think it's at least exciting. The second game is viewer's choice, so be prepared to answer the questions. Are we going to play solo or team? Are we going to play 3, 4, or 5 heroes? Is it going to be standard, ultimate, challenge, or advanced? What's the environment? What's the villain or villains? What are these heroes? Be prepared for these questions. And in the third game, I just mash the random button and go with whatever happens. But for the first game, we have Ultimate Grand Warlord Voss against K.N.Y.F.E, Chrono-Ranger, Young Legacy, R2-D2, Captain Cosmic, and Final Wasteland. Here we go. Visionary would try to fit Star Wars being the future and stuff. I guess so. I guess I should be all...
Cower before the might of the Thorathian conquering fleet.
Welcome. It's fair time for ye to stand down. Thank ye kindly. Sorry, I'm not even going to try to make an accent. I'm just going to read it as is. That's the best I can do. All right, so starting hands. K.N.Y.F.E has a battlefield experience, infiltrate and obfuscate, overdo it, and primed punch. Chrono-Ranger starts with displaced armory, Jim's hat, just doing my job, and Ranger's mark. Young Legacy starts with flying smash, motivational charge, and 2 Thox, very offensively set up. Omnitron-X starts with disruptive flechettes, focused plasma cannon, rocket punch, and temporal shielding. And Captain Cosmic starts with augmented ally, autonomous blade, dynamic siphon, and energy bracer. So, Grand Warlord Voss, villain Thorathian, conquering alien warlord. Setup: at the start of the game, Grand Warlord Voss enters play, conquering alien warlord side up. Cards are revealed from the top of the villain deck until 5 minions are revealed and put into play. Other revealed cards are returned to the villain deck, which is shuffled. Gameplay: at the start of the villain turn, if there are no minions in play, Grand Warlord Voss flips. At the start of the villain turn, if there are 10 or more minions in play, the plan has been overrun by the Thorathian army. Game over. Reduce damage to Grand Warlord Voss by 2 for each minion in play. And then these fun rules. Advanced: reduce damage dealt by heroes by 1. Oh, that's exciting. And challenge: hostile takeover. Whenever Grand Warlord Voss flips, the top card of the villain deck is played. So you have to be careful with flipping him because he'll play extra cards. And especially so on his flip side, which I'll go ahead and read now. Super Thorathian Warrior. Gameplay: at the start of the villain turn, if there are 2 or more minions in play, Grand Warlord Voss flips. Reduce damage to Grand Warlord Voss by 1 for each minion in play. At the end of the villain turn, Grand Warlord Voss brings out his lightsaber and deals the hero target with the highest HP 4 energy damage. And that lightsaber overheats and hits the hero target with the lowest HP for 3 fire damage. And advanced: at the end of the villain turn, the top card of the villain deck is played. So not only when he flips does he play a card, but he plays another card at the end of his turn. And flipping at the start of the turn is also pretty bad, because if the first card play is forced deployment, it will automatically destroy itself and bring out all the minions. I don't know why I keep doing hand things. But we have to be careful with flipping him. But it is harder to deal with his front side because damage dealt by heroes, all damage dealt by heroes, is reduced by 1. So this includes self-damage. Fun fact. We might use that fact. It does not affect damage dealt by constructs because constructs are not heroes. They are hero targets, but not heroes. So without further ado, let's see what these starting 5 minions are. We have a Gene-Bound Ion Lancer minion. This card is immune to energy damage. At the end of the villain turn, this card deals the hero target with the lowest HP 2 energy damage. Gene-Bound Psyweaver. This card is immune to psychic damage. At the end of the villain turn, this card deals each hero target 2 psychic damage. Gene-Bound Banshee. This card is immune to sonic damage. At the end of the villain turn, this card deals the hero with the most ongoing cards 3 sonic damage. Gene-Bound Frosthound. This card is immune to cold damage. At the end of the villain turn, this card deals each hero target 2 cold damage. And Gene-Bound Shock Infantry. This card is immune to lightning damage. At the end of the villain turn, this card deals the hero target with the highest HP 3 lightning damage. Alright. And his actual card is Force Deployment. Ongoing. When this card is destroyed, take all of the minion cards from the villain trash and put them into play. At the start of the villain turn, destroy this card. So, No real point in taking out any of these minions because they're going to come back 1 turn from now. So lots of damage that's going to be happening and forcibly happening. So Genebound Banshee deals hero with the most ongoing cards. This is actually a choice because everyone is tied. I generally like to go for the higher HP heroes. I'll throw this on Legacy because Legacy is a hero. All 5 of these are heroes though, but Legacy's America's hero. The hero that America needs, but not the hero that America deserves. Or something. That's not a Star Wars reference, so we're just going to carry on. So let's see. So this Overdo It is an example of where self-damage being reduced by 1 is actually really good, because at the end of her turn, K.N.Y.F.E may deal herself 2 psychic damage, but that would be reduced by 1, so it's 1 psychic damage, not as potent. And this lets her play extra cards, which will get her more set up faster, if that comes in handy. Well, with the forced deployment out there, there's no real point in killing minions. I could just reduce minions to 1 HP if I can. We are super lucky that we didn't see any damage-reducing minion, the Genebound Guard. We didn't see any guards, so we're only doing 1 less point of damage. I had 1 practice game where I started with 2 guards, so I had damage reduction of 3, and that was super tough. But this time we can do things if we need to. We have a battlefield experience, an infiltration, obfuscate. I'm just sort of thinking out loud. Primed punch isn't going to be useful unless I want to use that 4 melee damage for it at the start of her next turn. But I could do that on the start of my next turn anyway if I play Overdo It. So I'm going to go ahead and just Overdo It from the start. And then I can do 1 energy damage to anyone as long as they're not the Genebound Ion Lancer. But I shall go ahead and bring out the lightsaber on probably the ones that deal damage to all. Let's throw it on the Psyweaver. And we get another Overdo It. Yes. Only 1 damage. Good job. Alright, so now Chrono-Ranger. Unfortunately, Chrono-Ranger is severely dampered by the 1 damage reduction because he does a lot of 1 damages. So 1 minus 1 is 0, in case you didn't know that from school. Alright, well, first play is definitely Jim's Hat. Now my second play. Well, a card that will be very useful for Chrono-Ranger is the Masada, which is sort of his lightsaber, I guess, because it does energy damage, but it does irreducible damage, which will be super good, except we need bounty cards in play in order to fund it. So yeah, I'm just gonna summon it. I can't really use it, but I can summon it, and that's not it. It's this. Here. He has his lightsaber now. And there's no point in hitting anyone, and there's... I'll go ahead and do 0 irreducible energy for the kicks. 0 irreducible! And he draws the Neurotoxin Dart Thrower. Oh, I could have gotten the Displaced Armory to get rid of the forced deployment, Darren says. I keep forgetting about that. I always opt more for guns. But yeah, the Temporal Grenade, the damage wouldn't happen, but I could destroy the ongoing card, and then I could destroy minions if I need to. It's tempting. I also have a Disruptive Flechettes, though, so I might do that. I keep forgetting that it's an ongoing card and I can destroy it when I need to. Alright, well. I could get Motivational Charge out, but I wouldn't be able to use it, or I could use it, but I'd do 1 fewer point of damage. Atomic Lair would at least do 2 damage to something. Thok would do 2 damage to something, and I draw a card, and I could get multiple minions down to 1 so that Omnitron could destroy them. So yeah, I think I'm gonna Thok, so I can take out multiple of these, and the Genebound Frosthound definitely needs to go. Get a Surge of Strength out of that, that's good. And then the energy can't go on the Ion Lancer, but it can go on someone else. And I guess the Genebound Banshee is the answer. And Legacy draws the Legacy Ring. If I had the motivational charge out there, I could do both powers right now. All right, let's get rid of that forced deployment. Nice try, Voss. Could just try overdo it. I'm not gonna do that. I would be overdoing this the disruptive flechettes. All right, let's do this. I don't know that order really matters, but generally when you're playing against Voss and you can destroy minions, you want to take out the minions first in case you could actually hit Voss. Now, unfortunately, I can't hit Voss, but I can hit the other things. All right, now let's go ahead and see what we can do. Reveal a deck from which to reveal cards. So there's some strategy you could do with this. And I generally just opt for going down the list. I do K.N.Y.F.E, then I do Chrono-Ranger, then I do Legacy, then I do Omnitron-X. But I think in this case it might be better to do Chrono-Ranger since he still lacks bounty cards and we want to be able to fund the Masada. So let's go ahead and search Chrono-Ranger and we get Ranger's Mark, which is depressing because he does not have any cards in his trash except for a one-shot. So I'll put that in play for no reason. And I'll deal damage for no reason. So that was a boring card. But we get Omnitron-X's lightsaber. And John is here. Hello, John. You missed the part where I announced that I was your father. Spoilers, just so you know. Okay. Well, it has come to this. I think, well, the Genebound Ion Lancer is going to do 2 damage, and the Genebound Psyweaver is going to do 2 damage, which will kill any construct unless we can do something that can retaliate. So the Dynamic Siphon is something that can retaliate. And the hero who could take out whatever thing that could come out is Legacy. So let's go ahead and see what's on top. We have an Augmented Ally. Hero probably wants this. The question is which hero? Someone who has multiple powers and would profit from multiple powers. I guess if I get Bioengineering Beam out, I could use Time Shift and Bioengineering Beam on Omnitron. But someone's going to be losing cards. I could put it on Legacy and I could do at least I-beams and punches on the same turn before I get the Legacy ring. Chrono-Ranger doesn't need the powers because he doesn't have good powers. I guess if he gets the Neurotoxin Dart Thrower out, but then he won't have the bounty for the Masada. K.N.Y.F.E has several powers. Does she need it though? This is 1 and 1. This is 2 and 2, and then destroy this card, but then he can draw a card and play a card. And that's assuming that we can even get past damage resistance in case a Genebound Guard comes out. No real good options here. I'll just put it on Omnitron. And then I could destroy environment cards as well as time shifting if I need to. I don't need to all the time though. Construct Cataclysm, good source of irreducible damage. And out comes the Rat Beast. Cryptid. At the end of the environment turn, this card deals the non-environment target with the second highest HP for melee damage. Which is Chrono-Ranger, who is his nemesis, so that's a sad story. And out comes the TCF Stalwart, flagship. This card is immune to melee damage. At the start of the villain turn, this card deals each hero target 3 energy damage. At the end of the villain turn, shuffle the villain trash and reveal cards until a minion is revealed. Put it into play, put the other revealed cards back in the trash. Oof. Well, we can at least still take out the Genebound Psyweaver. Unfortunately, all the other constructs are dead. But this will be less damage. The development stream, if it wasn't during work hours, I would probably be watching it. But I wish you good luck with that, sir. At least I'll watch it on YouTube when it comes up. Oh, hey, the Gene-bound Sideweaver's back. That's a sad story. Which is gonna kill the Dynamic Siphon. I am sorry, too, that you've been gone for these, Mr. Fan. During work hours, because that's when you're working. No way! Hacks. You're double dipping in your paycheck. Alright. I can play a card at the start of my turn. And I think the original plan was to play Primed Punch so that I could destroy it and do 3 damage to something and take it out immediately. Unfortunately, it's melee damage, and the Stalwart's immune to melee. And we have to take this out because it's going to keep pulling minions out, in addition to, you know, the 3 energy damage across the board. That is sort of one issue here. If I could at least take out the Psyweaver with the melee. But is there really any reason to? I mean, I guess I could just do it so that I could do energy damage on the Stalwart. Yes. And then I'll destroy the Psyweaver that you so rudely brought back from the grave. And I was going to use this to destroy it and draw a card and play a card. But I don't know. This is only 1 energy damage to the Stalwart. It's only 1 energy damage to the Ion Lancer. It's 2 damage to the Shock Infantry, but the Shock Infantry's not as bad as the Ion Lancer. Well, I might as well just do that because I want to focus on the Stalwart, and this is at least 1 point of damage. Draw the Amplified Combat. That's not going to be good enough, but I can at least redirect environment damage. I get another battlefield experience. Let's say yes. It's only 1 damage. Only 1 damage. Okay, well, I'm hoping to get a bounty, so I'm gonna have to search for that. So let's see. Just doing my job. Alright, I don't need 2 copies of Overdo It. I don't need a Ranger's Mark when there's no bounties in my trash. These are all pretty good cards, but this is melee damage, so it's not gonna hit the Stalwart. Oh, these are all good cards, but Rocket Punch isn't gonna do too much damage right now. And I'm gonna ditch the Construct Cataclysm because I like constructs more. Terrible Tech Strike, Hunter and Hunted, no executions, Ranger's Mark, Compounded Bow, and no damage. We have no executions, which is great for minions because we can put minions on the bottom of Voss's deck. But if I do that and I do the Masada on the Stalwart, I can do 1 damage to it, but it's not going to get destroyed. Or at least we're certainly not going to be able to destroy it. There's no way we're doing 17 damage across 4 more hero turns. One Punch Man could take out the ship despite being melee only. Who's One Punch Man? Oh boy, Terrible Tech Strike does 1 point of damage, but that's melee damage. I could do the Dart Thrower on the ship, because the damage won't go through, but it will reduce its damage by 1. So it's only 2 energy damage across the board, which is less than 3. And John just suggested that, so I'm going to do that. Because what John suggests, I do. No questions. That would be an interesting game where I just think for 5 minutes and then John suggests a bad card and I have to play it because it's what John suggested. That would be amusing, wouldn't it? Alright, Legacy lost all of her constructs. She only had the Dynamic Siphon though, so Motivational Charge is not going to hit the Stalwart. Flying Smash is melee damage. I thought that was projectile damage. That's sadness. Well, I guess I'm going to do the Surge of Strength then. Can I throw my lightsaber at the Stalwart? Does that work in Star Wars, just throwing the lightsaber? Lead from the front. All right. We're going to start the game of redirect all damage to Legacy very soon. All right, well, the Rat Beast is certainly going to keep hitting us. It's going to be hitting Cosmic next. So we're going to need to destroy it, so I'm going to need to use the Bioengineering Beam. So, Psychic, Infernal, Radiant, and Sonic. The only two damages of that, or the only damages that will be dealt are Psychic and Sonic in this game, and I don't think that those are of a concern. So I'm going to ditch the Temporal Shielding. I want to hold on to the Focus Plasma Cannon because it's irreducible damage. And I need to reveal a card, and let's keep trying to get bounties. You get Eye on the Prize. Might as well play that. We can draw a card. Can't deal the damage, but I can draw a card, and it's Dead or Alive. Good. It's a bounty. I want to save no executions for a guard, or if a forced deployment has come back out, I can shuffle a minion back. But I want to save no executions for a guard, I think, because those are going to be super annoying to deal with on Voss's front side. So let's go ahead and put Dead or Alive in play, and I like the HP recovery effect most, so I'm going to put it on Voss. All right. So a live stream of John testing the you lose screen with parentheses. I'm pretty good at losing Sentinels as fast as possible. I feel like getting setups where you can lose as fast as possible would be interesting puzzles. Like obviously you can lose to Iron Legacy really fast, but how fast can you lose to like Ambuscade on average? Not just like the ideal case where he has charged attacks, I think is the ongoing card, and then you destroy the device and he destroys all these devices and deals damages to everyone. All right, let's destroy the Rat Beast and ping the ship. So technological advancement. All right, we have two very good cards for Omnitron. We're gonna need to be able to keep them in play. Autonomous Blade is nicer than normal because its 2 energy damage is not reduced. So if we can get this on a hero who can deal damage consistently and potentially out of turn, which would have been Legacy with the dynamic siphon, but we don't have that anymore. And by the way, Ion Lancer and Stalwart's gonna kill it, so it doesn't really matter too much. In fact, any of these that are going to get played are going to get immediately destroyed. So I guess, yeah, because the Stalwart's going to do the damage first, and then the Ion Lancer is going to destroy it. No, it's going to destroy it. No, Augmented Allies dying to the Stalwart. So I sort of don't want to play these cards. Energy Bracer would have an effect. It would have one singular effect. And that's it. Chrono-Ranger likes that if you can get ultimate target. Indeed. We don't have ultimate target, though. Maybe someday. All right, unflagging animation. Unfortunately, that 1 damage is irreducible. And we do have the dynamic siphon in the trash, so this is useful. Harsh offense. Alrighty. New Jersey Devil. Cryptid. At the end of the environment turn, this card deals the 2 non-environment targets with the lowest HP 4 fire damage each. Ooh. Well, the good news is we can flip Voss. The bad news is we can flip Voss. And I don't think we want to. Because if we flip Voss, Voss plays a card, and then he plays a card, and then he deals damage, and then he plays another card. And there could be lots of bad things. Like he could play a forced deployment at the start of his turn, so we get all the minions back. And then he could play the device that plays extra minions, or plays extra cards when the minion enters play. And then he could play a minion, which will play another card. And then we'll have all the minion effects. No, I think it's... I mean, Augmented Ally was dead anyway, so I might as well take out the Augmented Ally. But in exchange, I can take out the Ion Lancer too. And now we have 1 minion left. Oh dear, damage. Dun 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 dun. Field Lieutenant Tamar, Thorathian. Reduce damage dealt to Thorathians and minions by 1. That's the bad news. The good news is it does not affect the flagship. And Gene-bound Banshee has returned. We'll probably just play all of his Gene-bound Fireswords, and then it'll be easy. Need my Cosmic Crest. Do I look like I have a Cosmic Crest? I don't think so. Harsh Defense, though, is good for getting constructs in the trash, which could be the Cosmic Crest, which we could get back into play at the start of the next turn if we last that long. Alright, 1 and 1 damage isn't useful, and I could at least play that, so I shall. Oh, and this is my start of turn play. So I don't even have enough cards to fund these plays. There's no point in doing this, though, because we can't hit anything. I can still do 1 point of damage to the Stalwart. I could destroy Battlefield Experience again, I guess. Yeah. Because I can get another card. Incidental Contact is going to do 0 damage, so no thanks. And Overcharged Null Shield, which is going to be damage resistance. I don't really need this anymore, but I like it, so I'm keeping it, and I'm not destroying that. That's keeping me alive. Maybe. I don't really want to get Hunter and Hunted out. Bounties in the trash? Nope. I need to deal with that Stalwart somehow. If I do Hunter and Hunted, no executions, that's 2+ damage. Basada would do 2 damage plus 2. So we'll do 4 irreducible energy. But are we even capable of... I don't think we're going to be able to take him out again. I'm going to have to dart throw him again anyway. I think. So I'll just get my bow out. And I could still Hunter and Hunt it, I guess. 1 extra point of damage to Chrono-Ranger isn't too big of a deal. With this Stalwart, I at least do a point of damage. Eye on the prize. Alright. Oh boy. If only Flying Smash or Motivational Charge didn't do melee damage, then I could do more damage to the Stalwart. But as it stands... I think Lead from the Front and the Energy Bracer on Legacy is going to help save us from a lot of the damage that the Stalwart's capable of doing, as well as general damage. So I guess that's the next combo we're going for. And just hit the Stalwart. Danger Sense! Alright. So I could put the Focus Plasma Cannon out. I could also advance my technologies for a Focus Plasma Cannon. I'd also draw a card. I could also get a plating, which would help keep the components alive if I need it. General damage. That reminds me of How I Met Your Mother, except it's not, the pun is not with general, but it's with major. So basically I need to set it up like, man, I really wish I was capable of major damage. Major damage? There we go. Jeremy would like that. Yeah, I think getting the double focus plasma cannons is gonna help, if possible. And I draw Slip Through Time. If only I could play that, and I could use Bioengineering Beam and Time Shift. The New Jersey Devil is at least hitting the minions. The bad news is he's hitting the minions. And they're both going to die, and then Voss will flip. And we don't have any other constructs, right? They're all dead. So I think I have to Bioengineer Beam. One thing I've learned about advanced Voss is don't flip him until you're ready to. Disruptive Flechettes could at least do a bunch of damage. It's projectile damage, that's good. Alright, so Dynamic Siphon. Ooh. 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 I wanted this on Legacy, but Chrono-Ranger will be happy with this, because now we can freeze the Stalwart altogether. Let's keep the unflagging animation going. We do have another construct in there, but we wanted the Energy Bracer on legs. I may get him to hit the ship. He could hit the ship, except he needs to be at 3 or lower, and I don't have enough damage to do that. Maybe if I did a Harsh Offense, there's a chance. But that's okay. Wounding Buffer. Yes. Put that on legs. Alright, so now a lot of these minions and flagships are going to face the wrath of constructs. Get another Harsh Offense, so we can get more constructs in the trash more easily. And out comes Unforgiving Wasteland. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Whenever a target would be destroyed by damage dealt by an environment card, remove that target from the game instead. This is an excellent card against Voss. Not so good a card against constructs, but an excellent card against Voss. Alright, here is an instance where order is important. Are you ready for this? The first instance of damage goes to Legacy because the wounding buffer retaliates. And it did 2 damage, unreduced, because he's not a hero, and the flagship is not a minion or Thorathian. Now I do my next damage on the Dynamic Siphon, and I don't redirect it, because now Chrono-Ranger can use a power like the Neurotoxin Dart Thrower on the flagship, so now its damage is reduced by 2. And the rest of the damage can redirect to Legacy for 0! Woo! We at least stopped that from happening. So, that order was super important to maximize the gains of all of those cards. Welcome to Dolphin's Dive with Strategery. That was an instance of Strategery, the first thus far in this stream. Genebound Firesworn, I guess John was right. The next 3 cards are Genebound Firesworn. The minion, this card is immune to fire damage. At the end of the villain turn, this card deals the hero target with the highest HP 2 fire damage. Alright, so since Chrono-Ranger has the Hunter and Hunted, I might want to redirect this. Although the Firesworn's also going to go after him. And the Banshee, I don't know who has the most ongoing cards, probably Chrono-Ranger still. So this is all just going to be redirecting the Legacy, but at least the damage will be halved. And the wounding buffer goes off. So that's good. Stalwart gives us the Ion Lancer, who's considered to have the most cards in play. I feel like this should specify ongoing cards. This says which player is considered to have the most cards in play, but the text says the most ongoing cards. Also, I don't know if, I think I mentioned this in a one-shot at one point, but this card is interesting because it says this card deals the hero with the most ongoing cards damage. But does it specify in play, in the trash, in the deck, in existence, in hand? There's confusion here. Wink. Of course, I know what the intent of the card is. All right, so 2 ongoings, 2 ongoings, and 2 ongoings. All right, so those were the only 2. Or these are the 3 with the most ongoing cards in play. Yes, I know it means in play. I'm just being facetious. It's from the original set. Yeah, actually, I'm pretty sure I mentioned that in a one-shot where it's like, yeah, later expansions do always specify in play. I was just teasing. Sorry for being meticulous? Not meticulous. what's the word? Too particular? Picky? Well, Chrono-Ranger doesn't want to take this damage. Legacy could just take it. Knife, yeah, we'll give it to Legacy because that goes off, right. Just keep hitting Legacy because this will have the wounding buffer go off. But we do need to keep Legacy alive, I think. We do need to keep the dynamic siphon alive, if possible. Unfortunately, that didn't do the energy damage because the Ion Lancer is immune to lightsabers. I don't think lewd is the right word, but pedantic sounds right, so Jay-Z wins the prize. The prize is that you get to select hero number 3 in the next game. That question goes to Jay-Z. So be prepared. You get to choose the hero. Alright, we can definitely deal with the Stalwart in the next turn. And then we have a bunch of minions that we do have to deal with in some capacity, as well as Field Lieutenant Tamar, who is cramping us. This is the start of turn play. This doesn't really do anything right now because Voss doesn't do damage on this side. But the other cards don't do anything at all. Other than I could hit Chrono-Ranger because he has a damage boost. So let's at least get that out. And I could do 1 damage to the Stalwart, but Chrono-Ranger could certainly deal with it on his own. Especially with Hunter and Hunted still in play. So I'm gonna go ahead and get more cards because we don't have enough for Overdo It. We get another Amplified Combatant and another Overcharged Null Shield. And an Energy Burn. And I mean, I still feel like I don't have enough cards, but I can't say no to this because it's only 1 damage. Alright, don't destroy that. Regain a hit point. Now, I want to try to get damage boosting things. Maybe, I don't know. Eye on the prize. Let's start with that. Because I can hit the Stalwart with this because of this projectile. And eye on the prize. I love to save these for when I have damage boosts, but I'm really hurting for bounties. So eye on the prize, we get Temporal Grenade. It's not actually that exciting. The annoying thing about Terrible Tech Strike is that 2 melee I can't hit the Stalwart with, but to any other target it will be reduced to 1 because of Tamar and Voss. The 1 projectile damage could go on the ship, and I could take out the ship if I do both Terrible Tech Strikes on it. And he'll be gone for good. But I could also get no executions out. And actually, if I do no executions and a Terrible Tech Strike, that's going to do the same damage. So I wanted to save that for a guard, but I do have a Ranger's Mark, which can get it from the trash. So I think... we still haven't seen the Cosmic Crest. Constructs are still not safe from energy damage. So it's no executions, somebody. And this is 3 damage, this is 2 damage, this is 2 damage. But I'll need to hit it some other way. And the only thing is that that's energy damage. We have a lot of energy damage that's going around, but no real good ways of hitting this energy damage guy other than with melee. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna put it on net, and I'm gonna have to figure out damage afterwards, but like I could do 2 damage to Tamar, and then Legacy could do 2 damage, but then I still wouldn't have it killed by Omnitron's turn. So I'll hit the Ion Lancer with this. And then hit the Stalwart. All right, ship's gone. Oh, and now I could do lots of energy damage with the Basada. Lots of energy damage. Lots of energy damage. This can do 4 to Tamar. Yes, okay. We have a plan. All right, so the whole gang. When that target leaves play, you may destroy a target with 4 or fewer HP, like a minion, if needed. Oh yeah, and I still have flank smash. Yes. I mean, it's a little dangerous going into the environment turn with 1 minion left, I guess. But I can definitely... I mean, I could flip Voss at this point, I guess. But that would be a little risky. He'll play 3 cards, and I don't have... I don't have Legacy's stop playing cards takedown card. Well, let's see. Omnitron with sedative flechettes, or disruptive flechettes rather, is definitely going to kill a lot of these. He also still has focused plasma cannon. So I guess I don't need to worry about doing all that much damage with Legacy. So I think I'll put out Motivational Charge, and I'll use it to kill Tamar. Because then Omnitron can kill the other things, and we get hit points. Hit points are always good. Alrighty. Legacy draws lead from the front. So I can't hit the Firestorm with this. I can hit Voss. I'll go ahead and hit Voss because it's irreducible. I bypassed his super resistance there. And yes, disruptive flechettes. I could destroy Hunter and Hunted. That is actually tempting. But since I can still redirect damage to Legacy, I think that's still fine. You can't redirect environment damage, but the environment can't do too much to Chrono-Ranger right now unless a Rat Beast comes out. The Rat Beast would do 4 + 1 + 2 is 7. Chrono-Ranger will survive that. And he has HP recovery. Anything else I probably want to get rid of? I don't think so. I don't think the order matters because Voss is not going to be able to be hit by this. Boom, boom. No executions did that. Oh, right. And no executions destroyed, so Chrono-Ranger takes less damage. That's right. All right. And I could destroy another minion if I do Bioengineering Beam, but I want to save the Unforgiving Wasteland because if the environment does play something that destroys the minions, then that's good. So let's just keep doing card things. And who wants card things? I did Chrono-Ranger to this point. Chrono-Ranger still hasn't found by any means or ultimate target or anything that could get those. So I'll try Chrono-Ranger one more time. Another Hunter and Hunted. That's sad. We get an Ablative Coating. Augmented Ally. Should certainly come back. Migrant P is the most lagged. Well, you're also the only chatter in the past 7 minutes, so you win the prize. Unfortunately, I gave out all the prizes, so stay tuned next week for your prize. I think Chrono-Ranger would probably love this the most with all of his damage boosts and powers. Unfortunately, doesn't necessarily have the cards to fund it. Do you still have Dynamic Siphon? You do. So Autonomous Blade on Chrono-Ranger. And then top card is Cosmic Weapon. Someone gets a free lightsaber. Who wants a free lightsaber? Chrono-Ranger, maybe. Then he could do more damage with all of his powers. Cosmic Crest, there we go. So once we get that in play, I don't have to worry about energy damage from the minions. Amphibious Chupacabra. Cryptid. At the end of the environment turn, this card deals the non-environment target with the lowest HP 4 melee damage. Then, if that target has 5 or more HP, this card deals that target 1 toxic damage. Whoop-de-doo, we get to get rid of one of these. And the Banshee does more damage. So the Banshee's just removed from the game. Gone without a trace. Gene-bound Bionaut. Minion. This card is immune to toxic damage. At the end of the villain turn, this card deals the hero target with the lowest HP 2 toxic damage. I think Chrono-Ranger honestly could take this damage. It's only 3. Dynamic Siphon, however, would let Chrono-Ranger use a power. And that Chupacabra is actually going to keep eating minions. So I do want to keep the Chupacabra, and I don't really want to take out these minions because I want the environment to get rid of them for us. So do I need to use that power right now? Not necessarily. Yes. Oh. Okay, well, that's fine. Okay. I think I still want to try getting cards for K.N.Y.F.E. This is start of turn still. Lots of 1 damages that won't go through. And Voss has DR of 5, so I can't hit Voss. So I think it's just the overcharged null shield thing again. Infiltration, Obfuscate, and Battlefield Experience. Delicious. Energy Burn. I'm having a hard time justifying this now after all the damage I've taken to this point and I've not profited. But what the hey. HP is just a number. Discard a card to use a power. I don't need to do this. Unless I want to flip Voss and have the environment take out the other guy. But I don't need to do this. So no. So I could Ranger's Mark for the no executions, but no executions when that target would be destroyed. Unforgiving Wasteland whenever a target would be destroyed. So I could choose to not remove a card from the game and instead put it on the bottom of Voss's deck. That doesn't seem that good though. I could stop a target from... I could destroy another target when one is destroyed to guarantee that Voss flips. I could destroy something. I don't need to. Honestly, I think I want Chrono-Ranger to draw cards. So I shall. So skipping, Danny Boy, in Sudden Contract. Yay! I can get the ultimate target, finally. Okay. I don't really need to use the Legacy Ring right now. So I think I'll put out Danger Sense. I'm still going to use Motivational Charge. I'm just going to leave the minions untouched. As silly as it is. But I do want the HPs. So let's get past this. Legacy gets a Heroic Interception. Alright. Might as well hit Voss with the Irreducible. And let's just keep piling up on the Irreducible. That seems good. And who wants a card? I'm gonna throw this on Legacy. Oh, nope. That's not takedown. I was hoping to get a takedown out of turn. That would have been fun. There's no cards no constructs in my trash though. So unflagging animation isn't really doing much right now, but I still want to get that Cosmic Crest out. I think. What are the chances of energy damage being dealt? He does energy to the... which one? Highest. So that's not going to hit Cosmic. And he has 2 Ion Lancers and 2 Forced Deployments. Ion Lancers... And, oh, it was removed from the game, wasn't it? No. It's on the bottom of the deck, is what it did. Okay. So energy's not actually likely to happen. So I guess I'll offend harshly to deal 2 energy. I mean, I guess I could flip Voss for sure, but I feel like I want to be more set up. But how much more setup could I possibly get at this point, right? Yeah. It's happening. Hold on to your butts. So this construct, or not a construct, this card destroys all constructs. And we still have the 2 on Legacy, the 4 on Chrono-Ranger. That's 6. I could do 6 irreducible damage. But no, I want to save them. Flagging animation, self-damage. Another amphibious Chupacabra that's gonna remove a construct from the game, unfortunately. So which one is gonna leave the game? This is sad. Chrono-Ranger has enough powers. So now Chrono-Ranger's, or Captain Cosmic's deck is down to 39 cards. Gene-bound Psyweaver. Gene-bound Ion Lancer. I have to be careful with Omnitron. If I do too much damage to Omnitron, I lose the damages, or the thingies, the components. But he can take the 4, for sure. And then this can trigger, and I could reduce damage dealt by the Psyweaver, I think. So no. And actually, wait. How many constructs? Or no, we only have 1, right? We only have 1 bounty. So this is gonna be, this damage is increased by 1, so I could Compounded Bow to destroy the Psyweaver altogether. I guess that's a bit better than having to reduce its damage. Oh, but I guess we want the Chupacabras to take out these cards, don't we? Especially since they're otherwise going to target constructs. Yeah, so if I reduce this damage by 1, so we'll hit Omnitron again. Oh, but if I hit the Dynamic Siphon, this can be down to 1. I guess if the Psyweaver hits the Dynamic Siphon, it'll be down to 2, and then and then Motivational Charge will go off still. So I'm gonna redirect this to Legacy. Ah, poop. That's actually frustrating. I can still have the Dynamic Siphon go off though. And then now I have to reduce the damage, because I can't kill it outright. Or can I? Wait. This is increased by 1. No, I can't do it. If I had the Cosmic Weapon, I could! Yeah, reduce the damage and then redirect all to legs. And this goes off, so I can actually... Oh, I can't kill it. Well, certainly we want to remove the guard from the game. The Chupacabras, though, are definitely going to hit them anyway. Well, I'll just hit the guard, whatever. And then redirect all to legs. In flashbacks to this week's one-shot. Oh, the Ion Lancer. Wait, what? What did... I thought I read... Okay, whatever. Something went off that I didn't expect. I'm confused. Whatever. Hindsight is 20/20. Okay, well, If I leave these minions out for the Chupacabras to eat, I can't damage Voss. But Voss certainly won't flip because he only flips if there are 2 or more in play at the start of his turn. So I can destroy the Ion Lancer just so that the other minions are for sure gone. I guess I could leave the Ion Lancer in play. Well, yeah, so the 2 minions are definitely going to get destroyed. I could leave the Ion Lancer out and Cosmic could play the Cosmic Crest and I don't have to worry about it at all. So that's the good news. Now, damage dealt by heroes is no longer reduced by 1, so Overdo It's going to be dealing herself 2 damage, so I do have to be careful with that much. Battlefield experience isn't going to really do much. I mean, she's not going to be able to get past Voss's 3 reduction? 4 reduction, actually. And that card's already in play. So, I mean, if I take out the Gene-Bound Guard, then I am more likely to just be able to hit Voss. I wanted to remove the guard from the game, but I could also just have the Chupacabras take out the 2 minions. Because if he has a DR of 2, I can deal with that more easily than a DR of 4. So, Energy Burn would do that. It would take out the guard. And the construct with the lowest HP is 2, but it'll be regained by Motivational Charge, so I don't need to worry about that choice. So yeah, Energy Burn the guard. And now I could do 1 point with Energy Burn, which is a little sad. Since I already played a card, I might as well play another card. And I could destroy this yet again to get a card draw and card play. Why have I not found K.N.Y.F.'s melee and energy damage increasing cards? Why have I not found them? Oh, hey, there it is. Prototype Servo Gauntlet. But I can't justify this anymore. Alright, well. Discard a card. I'm going to ditch the Temporal Grenade. Unfortunately, DR of 2. Well, I do want a Neurotoxin Dart Thrower still. At least on Voss. Voss is now going to do damage consistently. So even though this doesn't go through, damage dealt by Voss is reduced. And now, Sudden Contract. I can finally get one of those 2 cards. Do I want By Any Means or Ultimate Target? By Any Means would make it easier to hit Voss. Ultimate Target. Chrono-Ranger could retaliate when Voss deals damage, which he does on his turn consistently. Which could lead to more damage. So I'll do Ultimate Target. Because then I could Neurotoxin Dart Throw on his turn. And now I can actually hit Voss. Yay! And this can't hit Voss, sadly. Sorry, Autonomous Blade. Alright, so 1 more card play. The whole gang, when the target leaves play, you may destroy a target with 4 or fewer. We don't need that in play. I could if I just wanted to power up the bounty. No executions when it would be destroyed. Blah, blah, blah. Actually, if I put no executions out, and I put that on a target that leaves play, or leaves the game instead, this card doesn't get destroyed, right? Because this text doesn't happen. Right? So I could put that on one of those 2 minions and then just leave it in play forever. That seems scary. I want to save Terrible Tech Strike for the next turn. Because hopefully there will be no minions. And I don't want a Ranger's Mark. And I don't want to play the other cards. So skip. And irreducible damage is better, right? This is 2 bounties, so 2 irreducible, +2, +1 is 5. Compounded bow, it's going to be +2, -2, which will be a total of 2. So I'll just lightsaber away. And Chrono-Ranger gets the bounty board. Alright. I could save the team if I put out the Heroic Interception, but Legacy's getting pretty low. So Legacy Ring is the safest bet. And can still hit Voss with her lasers and the motivation. At least, that's the good news. Legs gets an Inspiring Presence! Yay! We can do more damage now. Irreducible, irreducible. Alrighty. I'm thinking I need the Innervation Ray to help with Legacy. I'm thinking. So Innervation Ray. And since what? Let's see if we can luck into a takedown. Nope. I can at least put that in play. Elemental Exochassis. Energy Bracer on Legacy. Legacy loves this. No, I'm fine with that. And then the Cosmic Crest. Although I guess I don't need to worry about that as much. Do I want to heal the constructs? We only have the one Dynamic Siphon that's low, so no. Lightsabers on the 4th? How meta? I'm so meta, even this acronym. I'll put that on Chrono-Ranger, because powers. Wounding Buffer. Damage. Oh yeah, Wounding Buffer on Legacy is not a good idea. I found that out in the one-shot. Khan's Bunker. At the end of the environment turn, each hero target regains 1 HP. At the start of the environment turn, either destroy this card or play the top card of the environment deck. That's actually really good. Really good. Let's not remove Dynamic Siphon from the game, please. Thank you. Yeah, I stole it from XKCD, but I've made that joke more times than XKCD, at least by my counts, because XKCD only made that joke once. So, Gene-bound Frosthound, and then, really? Oh, I guess it's reduced by 1 and then increased by 2. But if I redirect this to Legacy, it's not going to be 5 or greater. Chrono-Ranger can take this. Chrono-Ranger's happy with that damage. The lowest HP target is dealt 3 fire, and that's the Dynamic Siphon. But the Frosthound's also going to go off. Because I could Neurotoxin Dart Thrower. Well, if I Neurotoxin Dart Thrower Voss, it'll do 2 damage to the Dynamic Siphon. I'm not sure if that is super vital, but then I could actually, if I do the Masada on Voss, no. Well, yeah, I could destroy the Frosthound easily with Chrono-Ranger if I need to, I guess. So I'll just do as much damage to Voss first. Actually, I don't want to destroy the Frosthound because I want the Chupacabra to hit the Frosthound. If I hit the Dynamic Siphon... Oh, this is already active by the Neurotoxin Dart Thrower. If I do this... If I hit it... If I redirect to Legacy, Legacy doesn't take damage. If I don't redirect it... Actually, the Legacy's not going to take damage anyway. She has 2 energy bracers. So yeah, I don't have to worry about the Frost Hound at all. But I could let Chrono-Ranger get 2 powers. Like 2 instances of compounded bow, right? So I want to do this first before another minion enters play. Because 6 damage. TCF Conqueror. Oh boy, this is gonna be fun. Legacy's not gonna take this. Dynamic Siphon will die. So I guess it's just redirect all to Legacy. Redirect. 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 Alright. This is 3 damage, so Legacy doesn't want to take 1 damage this many times. At least the heroes can survive this. Chrono-Ranger probably doesn't want to take the 5 though. But it is 1 damage to Legacy, so that's okay. Wounding buffer goes off. Oh, that's good. We didn't have any other wounding buffers. I forgot about the wounding buffer. It will at least be easier to dispatch with the TCF Conqueror than the TCF Stalwart because we're not having massive damage reduction on this side and we're more well set up. I want to save the Dynamic Siphon. I think the other constructs are just going to have to fend for themselves. Which is scary when you consider the Chupacabras. We do have a motivational charge and an innervation ray and a cosmic crest to help out. So yeah, the constructs can just fend for themselves. Because there's no other cards coming into play, which is the good news. Okay. Increase melee damage dealt by knife by 1. Which would help with the battlefield experience, right? And then you can draw a card and play a card. Unfortunately, that won't help with the TCF Stalwart, will it? But I could do 5 damage to it right now. So the Chupacabras aren't going to be able to damage the Stalwart unless we leave it at 5 or more HP, but have it be the lowest HP target, which seems strange. So instead, yeah, energy burn on this Conqueror, I guess. That's good damage. And then 1 damage to Voss, or 1 and 1 damage to Voss and play a card. Or 2 damage to the Stalwart. Or not a Stalwart, the Conqueror. That's the one. I mean, I still want to try to get the Conqueror. I don't want to leave it in play because it's... Because the Chupacabras can't hit it and it's going to destroy an ongoing card, so... I mean, I guess I could have it destroy battlefield experience and then I could destroy it with knife. That would be funny. But I have to get rid of one of the Chupacabras, I am pretty sure. I also have to hit the Frost Hound down to 1 to make sure that, or I guess down to 2 so that none of the constructs are damaged. So I guess I might as well just do this with knife. because Chrono-Ranger certainly can't do that little damage at this point. And we got the Focusing Conduit Blade. All right. Knife's going to be getting more setups soon enough. Discard a card to use a power. So whole gang, when that target leaves play, you may destroy a target with 4 or fewer HP. So I could do this on the Frosthound to take out the TCF Conqueror. And that will power up Chrono-Ranger. Because this card says when that target leaves play, as opposed to no executions, which says when that target would be destroyed. So leaving play includes leaving the game, because that's leaving play. So I could play the whole gang. So I guess whole gang and terrible tech strike this turn are my 2 plays. So I don't need Danny Boy. And Voss only has 1 damage reduction, so the bow is going to do the most damage. The neurotoxin, or the Masada, is going to do the second most. This is currently doing 2 irreducible, but will be increased by 2 by Hunter and Hunted and 1 by the ultimate target. When the whole gang is in play, that's going to be 3, 3, and 1. That's 7. Compounded bow is going to do 1 plus 3 plus 1 minus 1. That's 3 and 3. That's 6. Currently, it's going to do 3 and... Or no, it is doing 3 and 3. Wow, I can't math right now. We're 1 hour and 16 minutes into this game, and I'm already loopy. Oh boy, someone just take over. All right, so numbers right now. If I use these powers right now, we have 2 bounties. One of them increases damage dealt to Voss by Chrono-Ranger. And so Masada is going to do 2 plus 2 plus 1 is 5. Compounded bow, I did this twice already. This is going to do 6. If I do the whole gang at some point on my turn and I use a power next, this is going to do 3 and 3 and 1 is 7. This is going to do 1 plus 3 plus 1 minus 1 is 4. 4 and 4 is 8. So 6 versus 8 later, and 5 versus 6 now. So what are the combination of the 2 numbers that will do the most damage? 5 and 8. 6 and 7. If I use Hunter and Hunted, it's 0. Like I think Masada now and Bow later is doing the most. I think. I'm probably dead wrong. But I'm gonna do this instead. And Conquerors have to, or the Conqueror has to get down to 4 for whole gang. So we'll go ahead and have these go off on the Conqueror. Whole gang, the Frosthound. Terrible Tech Strike, the Voss. I could have it be the target of Chupacabra, but I'm going to destroy one of them with Omnitron, so it's going to be a non-issue. I mean, I could have it be like at 1 HP so the Chupacabra does try to tag it, but I don't really want the Chupacabras that much anymore, because I could possibly win in the next round if I get very well set up here. Temporal Grenade. It'll be the target of the Chupacabra, but the Chupacabra won't take it out. But I could have it down to 1 HP, and then I could have one Chupacabra go after the Conqueror and fail, and the other Chupacabra go after the Frosthound, which will take out the Conqueror. But I would rather not deal with that. Alright, Inspiring Presence will keep people alive. I also forgot about Inspiring Presence's HP. So constructs are pretty safe. And then damage. And then damage. Alright, 30 HP. Can we do it? Oh, more HP. Alright, Flying Smash. Irreducible and increased by 1. Irreducible increased by 1. Heal legs. And heal... Where's the dynamic siphon? Oh, it's at max HP. Really? At max HP? Yeah, wow, okay. Heal the energy bracers. Alright. If I slip through time, I can use bioengineering beam and time shift. So sure. So let's time shift Chrono-Ranger into Eye on the Prize. Yes! Because this is super damage to Voss. The bunker does heal constructs, but it is a bit risky because it's going to play an environment card at the start of the turn, which could damage something, I guess. We'll get to there when we can get to there. He draws Hunter and Hunted. I could Ranger's Mark. Just to get another bounty, I guess. Because this will deal damage. So... no executions. Let's put that on the Frosthound. I guess I could put this on the Construct. Actually, if I put it on a Construct, it actually bypasses Unforgiving Wasteland. This is an interesting bounty because it doesn't discriminate between hero and villain, or hero and non-hero. So I could put this on a Construct to save it from the Unforgiving Wasteland. That would be interesting. Instead, I want to see this interaction because this is when that target would be destroyed. And if it's removed from the game instead, it should theoretically not be destroyed when it leaves play. So let's see if that works. Self-sabotage. Destroy any number of components. Deal 1 target energy damage equal to the number of components destroyed times 2. Okay. I think this is worth it. These were super useful in this game, but this game is ending one way or another. Possibly, maybe, hopefully. It's... ooh. It's down to 1. So he could be targeted by the amphibious Chupacabra. Keep that in play. And actually, yeah, the Chupacabra is going to target him. So I could Harsh Offense or Construct Cataclysm or something else. But why would I? I'm just going to go through this and remove Voss from the game. Yeah, I don't want Khan's Bunker or its Skunk Ape. Amphibious Chupacabra removes Voss from the game. Actually, he doesn't, because Voss is just... yeah, when Voss will be destroyed, you instead win the game. I'm sad that Voss wasn't not here though. He shouldn't be here. He should be removed from the game instead. Oh well, we win. We won. It only took 1 hour and 23 minutes, but I think that was a pretty good match. It wasn't that it was pretty difficult, but it was pretty challenging, pretty puzzling to deal with the ships at the times that they came out. With the return of the minions, we didn't get too many forced deployments, but the Stalwart did pull minions from the trash several times, so at least that happened. But yeah, we got really fortunate. I think forced deployment only came out in the first turn and we destroyed it before he could even pull any minions. So it was a pretty lucky game. And Final Wasteland, I mean, even if we did get another forced deployment, Final Wasteland would have saved us because a lot of the minions got removed from the game and weren't in the trash. But oh well. That is our Star Wars themed game of the night. All right, time for game number 2, and possibly the last game, since that game took longer than I had thought. So it's viewer's choice. If I were a cool streamer who knew how to do special effects, I would do a scene transition right now where it's like, viewer's choice, and big glorified art and music and text and things. So the way that viewer's choice works is I poll the chat and I ask you entirely what shall the game be. And the first time I did this, we had Ultimate Iron Legacy in Rook City, and that game lasted about 2 or 3 rounds. And the second time we did this, we had Challenge Dreamer. I couldn't remember if it was Advanced or Challenge. It was Challenge Dreamer, I think, in the Enclave of the Endlings. I don't remember. And that did end up in a victory, and it was a pretty fun game too. So it's third time to pull this off. So here's how it works. I ask questions in the chat. If I ask them out loud, it's going to be a bit of a mess as to, who's answering what question. But I will ask a question, and the first answer that gets 2 votes wins it. So the first question, and I always like to mix this up so that you can't predict what the question will be. Choose the environment. These are the environments, in case you see this within the 10 seconds. 1 vote for Wagner Mars Base, 1 vote for Time Cataclysm, 2 votes for Wagner Mars Base. We are in space. All right. Second question. Actually, before I can even ask that question. 3, 4, or 5 heroes? 1 vote for 4, 2 votes for 4. We're doing 4 heroes. I probably should type this out so that at least people know that the votes have gone through. All right, so we have 4 heroes. Choose the first hero. 1 vote Parse, 2 votes Parse. Parse has no variants, so it's just Parse. All right, the next question is classic or team? 1 vote team, 1 vote classic, 2 votes classic. We're sticking with classic. All right, so we have 1 villain and 3 more heroes to choose. Choose the second hero. Fanatic, Argent, Adept, Santa Guise, Visionary, Fanatic. All right, so the hero is Fanatic. Now, John, Migrant P, pointed out a good system for choosing variants. Now that we've chosen the hero, we now need to choose the variant. So, Base, Redeemer, or Prime Wardens, Fanatic. One vote Prime Wardens, 1 vote Redeemer, 2 votes Prime Wardens. We have Prime Wardens, Fanatic. Next question. If this person is still here, I mentioned earlier that Jay-Z won the option to choose the next hero, but is Jay-Z even still here? I don't remember why I chose this person to be the third, what this person did to choose the third hero, but this person has that honor. I guess in the meantime, I will ask the question. Oh, Prime Warden's Argent. All right. This has been selected. It's Prime Warden's Argent Adept. All right. 2 questions left, possibly more, depending on the answer to these questions. Choose the villain. These are the villains. But I guess there's even more. Kargra, Infinitor, Deadline, Infinitor. All right. Base or heroic? That's an important question. 1 vote heroic, 2 votes heroic, and standard, advanced, challenge, or ultimate. 1 vote challenge, 1 vote ultimate, 1 vote advanced, 2 votes challenge. 2 votes challenge, heroic, Infinitor. All right, last question. Choose the 4th hero. 2 votes Guise, and I know what the answer to this will be is Base or Santa Guise. 1 vote Santa, 2 votes Santa. Yeah, all right. Just have to be consistent with this. I know you want Santa Guise, but have to be consistent. All right, so viewer's choice is Challenge Heroic Infinitor against Parse, Prime Wardens Fanatic, Prime Wardens Argent Adept, and Santa Guise in Wagner Mars base. Let's fight. I can barely resist the whispers of oblivion. You must help me, heroes. I see through you. Your weaknesses are all too visible. I think his weakness is sort of obvious, so that line is sort of well, duh. All right, so Parse starts with data mining, exploit vulnerability, reveal the flaws, and syntactic analysis. Prime Warden's Fanatic starts with an Aegis of Resurrection, Divine Focus, End of Days, and Smite the Transgressor. Prime Warden's Argent Adept starts with Arcane Cadence, Drake Pipes, Musaragni's Harp, and Zoo's Bell. And Santa Guise starts with Gimmicky Character. I actually just watched or listened to Kismet's letters page, and this is the same shark that's featured in Kismet's card. I don't remember what the card is called. It's the one where first time Kismet will be dealt damage, reveal the top card of the environment deck. If that card is a target, put it into play and redirect the damage to that target. And this is the same shark because guys just showed up and was like, oh, I need to get back to the surface. I'm gonna ride this shark to the surface. Retcon, selling out, and oh yeah, I'm that guy. All right, so Heroic Infinitor, big wall of text. I'll read this quickly. Villain, Tormented Ally. Setup. At the start of the game, Infinitor enters play Tormented Ally side up. All crushing cages are removed from the game. Cards are revealed from the villain deck until 4 manifestations are revealed and put into play. Other revealed cards are shuffled back into the villain deck. Gameplay. Manifestations are indestructible. Reduce damage dealt to manifestations by 1. If there are no manifestations in play, you win. Infinitor is a hero target. Increase damage dealt by Infinitor by 1. When Infinitor would be destroyed, his villain character card flips to the Overcome by Manifestations side instead. Whenever a manifestation with 1 or fewer HP is dealt damage by Infinitor, it is placed under this card. At the end of the villain turn, Infinitor deals 1 manifestation 2 melee damage. Challenge! Drawn to the edge. At the start of the villain turn, the top card of Infinitor's deck is revealed. If it is a manifestation, it is put into play. If not, it is shuffled back into Infinitor's deck, and each manifestation in play is restored to its maximum HP. So you have to be really careful here, because we're not really going to be able to win the game very easily or very quickly, because unless we can somehow get Infinitor to deal damage outside of his turn, which I don't think we can in this team, we're not going to be able to win the game until all manifestations are in play and he starts cycling through one-shots, which makes it pretty scary to the heroes. So we're gonna have to be careful. Now, if he gets destroyed, if he would be destroyed, he flips. And he becomes overcome by manifestations. Gameplay. When flipped to the side, Infinitor's maximum HP is 90. Infinitor is restored to 90 HP. All cards under this card are destroyed. Then Infinitor deals each non-hero target X energy damage, and each hero target regains X HP, where X equals the number of cards destroyed this way. Whenever a manifestation would enter play, Infinitor gains 4 HP. When it enters play, it is destroyed. At the end of the villain turn, Infinitor deals each non-villain target 2 energy damage. Any target dealt damage this way deals itself 2 psychic damage. Challenge! Drawn to the edge. Damage dealt by villain targets is irreducible and cannot be redirected. This is actually a challenge rule that's different on the front and back sides. So, fun stuff. All right, let's start the game. We get the Recalcitrant Hellion. Manifestation. At the end of the villain turn, this card deals the 2 hero targets with the highest HP 3 fire damage each. Lambent Reaper. Manifestation. At the end of the villain turn, this card deals the hero target with the lowest HP 2 energy damage and 2 psychic damage. Twisted Miscreation. Manifestation. Whenever this card would be dealt damage, reduce that damage to 1. At the end of the villain turn, this card deals the hero target with the highest HP 4 energy damage. And Twisted Miscreation. Manifestation. Whenever this card will be dealt damage, reduce that damage to 1. At the end of the villain... Oh, I already read this one. Sorry. I got distracted by my Migrant Peas question. Ocular Swarm. Manifestation. Whenever this card or any other manifestation card is destroyed, reveal the top card of the villain deck. And that doesn't actually happen on this side because manifestations don't get destroyed. So it's a dead card. All right, so Migrant P says, trivia question. Heroic Infinitor has an error in the digital version that has been there since release. And the answer is it's a bug on the flipped side. So what's the bug? I don't actually know because I don't think I've seen his flipped side. Actually, no, that's false. I did see his flip side once. I started the game against Advanced Infinitor and he died on his first turn. And so he flipped on his first turn. And I think I didn't even finish that game because it was brutal. Not really a bug, but an error in the text that's also in the code. Okay. I don't know what the original text was because I don't actually have this card, but you guys could play along at home, I guess. All right, Lambent Reaper is an annoying one because that goes after lowest HP heroes. This is hitting Infinitor. That hits Infinitor. Infinitor's now the lowest. That's tragic. I'm gonna throw this on Parse. Fanatic doesn't really need to be low HP in this game because we don't need to overwhelm HP unless we flip Infinitor. Alright. Exploit vulnerability would help Infinitor damage new manifestations. Maybe. Data mining, there are no of those cards. Reveal the flaws would actually help Infinitor's damage. As well as help us hit the manifestations for more, but we have to be careful because they could regain to max HP regardless of our efforts, so I don't really want to go over and beyond our damage dealing efforts. A player can reveal the top 2 cards of their deck, play, draw, or discard each of those cards in any order. I wish we could do this on Infinitor. This should say select a hero. Oh, Infinitor, you're a hero. Actually, he's a hero target, not a hero. End of Days is not useful in this game because manifestations are indestructible, right? Yeah, they're indestructible. I guess I could try to get Argent Adept more set up. So let's do that. Argent Adept. Top 2 cards of your deck are a Sadistic Dissonant, which doesn't help us destroy manifestations, and an Inventive Preparation. I mean, those cards might as well just go into play, but there's no reason not to. And yeah, let's just hit the Lambent Reaper in case it gets below, or in case it doesn't regain HP. Extrasensory Awareness. Parse really wants to play that, because then we can make sure Infinitor doesn't do things that we don't want it to. Alright. I think the Aegis on Fanatic is wise. Do I want to do this? A little risky, but she does have that Aegis. Final Dive! All targets are indestructible. Sadness. But you know what I can do? Presents! Whee! Presents! Chestars, which doesn't really help. I mean, I guess we could put it on like a manifestation, but Infinitor has to damage a target, right? Yeah, is dealt damage by Infinitor. Okay. Arcane Cadence, because then I could do Conduct on the bottom card of my deck. So we already have the Sadistic Dissonant and the Inventive Preparation. So what's missing is the Saraband and Akpunku's Drum. I don't want to Polyphoric Flare because I don't have any more powers right now. But I could just put that in my hand, because the other cards aren't exciting enough. The next card will be drawn. So equipment cards could be destroyed, so I don't want to play the drum, but I could put the drum on top of my deck. I could get the Saraband. Well, I guess it doesn't really... Actually, no, it doesn't really matter. All have 2 Sadistic Dissonance because that seems cool. Also because these are spacey. That's also one of the TCFs. That's one of Voss's ships. All right, let's play that. Either discard 2, draw 3, or someone else may play a card. Yeah, Guise doesn't have the card that he would like. Let's discard 2. Let's lose these instruments so I can get them back easily. Akpunku's Drum, Silver Shadow, Instrumental Conjuration, and Electritus Subdominant. Okay. I don't know that any of these cards are worth playing other than possibly Gimmicky Character, because HP. But I don't have a card to destroy other than friendly cards. I don't have cards to play, and there's no ongoings I really want. I could just copy Argent Adepts. I could also just hold on to Gimmicky Character because this could let guys play cards later. So I'm going to do that. And presents! Presents! Alright, so Hankroyd won the prize. There's a word on the real card that is missing from the digital one. The word is 11 letters long. Leo said the psychic damage is supposed to be irreducible. Okay. So the damage is supposed to be irreducible. Life didn't reference. Alright. Meteor Storm. All targets are immune to damage. At the start of their turn, a player may skip the rest of their turn to destroy this card. This actually is the win card, because I could just let all the manifestations come out, and then wait until Infinitor's deck is going to cycle through one-shots, and then I can do things with the heroes. Right? Recalcitrant, Crazed Artifice, one-shot. Reveal the top 4 cards of the villain deck, put any manifestation cards revealed into play, discard any one-shots revealed this way. If no manifestation cards are revealed this way, play the top card of the villain deck. So that did not reveal a manifestation. Lambent Reaper comes out. And he can't deal damage. Can't deal damage. Can't deal damage. Can't deal damage. Or I guess he can deal damage, but we're just immune to damage. So, yeah. So I could just wait until all the manifestations are out. And then I could destroy the Meteor Storm. And then I could wait for one-shots to... Or I can wait until the deck is all one-shots. Destroy the Meteor Storm. And then have one-shots get played where Infinitor deals damage to everyone. And eventually he'll destroy all the manifestations. It's the boring approach. But in the meantime, I can get set up. So like extrasensory awareness can at least make sure that I get manifestations faster. Look at the top 3 cards, discard 1, put the other 2 on top of the deck in any order. We have 2 manifestations and we have a Whispers of Oblivion. So yeah, he can't. We want manifestations out faster, so we'll discard the Whispers. It doesn't matter what these 2 are because they're both going to enter play. Don't shuffle it. We draw a Gauge. Don't skip. A lot of these cards don't really have an effect. End of Days would destroy Meteor Storm. And Divine Focus and Chastise require Fanatic to deal herself damage to keep them in play. And this, she doesn't have another power. I can use this to get the top card of my deck played and get more presents. And I guess at this point we might as well just have fun with guys and get as many presents under the tree as we can. Consecrated Ground, of course. Well, this is why I have 2 Dissonance, so I can destroy one with Consecrated Ground. And presents! Has anyone ever gotten all 40 presents in play? I don't think that's going to happen in this game because we're going to have too many cards in our hands and in play, but has anyone ever gotten 40 presents under the tree? No. I'll get the Subdominant out. Ooh, that healed Infinitor. That Vernal Sonata heals Infinitor. Cards on top of our decks. Syntactic Analysis sounds good. Neither of those sound good for Fanatic. And Arcane Cadence sounds great for Argent Adept. So I could have someone play a card, I could draw cards, I could use a power, and I don't think we really need card play, so I'm just gonna keep cycling through Argent Adept's deck. Got Arcane Cadence, Scherzo of Frost and Flame, Counterpoint Bulwark, and Saraband of Destruction. No. And any card I could play would be destroyed, and I don't think there's a use for these. So skip, and presents! Does Guise look like the kind of person who has fun? No, he looks like he's serious business. Super serial. Oxygen Leak. Reduce all fire damage by 3. At the end of the environment turn, one player may discard one card to destroy this card. At the start of the environment turn, deal each target X toxic damage, where X equals the number of cards in the environment trash. Well, I don't need to worry about that. Rehouse Atelian. Ocular Swarm. And immune to damage. Immune to damage. Immune to damage. Just gonna have to fast forward through these. So the shame the Meteor Storm came out this fast, because now it's like I can't have fun in this game. Alright, see ya, Migrant P. Hopefully you get to see presents indeed. Okay. Let's put Exploit Vulnerability out. So how many constructs or manifestations are left? There are 3. So reveal top 3. We got 1. I can at least discard the 1-shot. And Whispers of Oblivion is second from the top. The manifestation's on top. This is going to play another card, but there won't really be another effect. Actually, wait. Oh yeah, there's still 2 more. All right. I don't want to shuffle the villain deck. Buffer Overflow. Interesting. Interesting. Sort of having a thought about how to utilize Buffer Overflow to bypass the manifestation entering play clause. If it is manifestation, it is put into play. Buffer Overflow says when a villain card would enter play, you may discard it instead and destroy this card. When this card is destroyed, draw a card and play the top card of the villain deck. Actually, this card is... Actually, I can destroy this card out of turn just to play the top card of the villain deck, and that could damage damage the manifestations before they regain HP. So like, if I use Parse to destroy Meteor Storm, I could then use Fanatic and Argent Adept's turns to damage manifestations. And if I have it well prepared, I could also have Guise deal it with like Blatant Reference and other cards he'd need for that. But I could damage manifestations, and then I could make sure that the top of Infinitor's deck is certainly a manifestation. Or not manifestation, a one-shot that deals damage. I guess it doesn't matter once they're all one-shots. But I could destroy extrasensory awareness via Guise by playing Retcon. And Infinitor will then start dealing damage out of turn. I'm not sure actually that's actually even better. It's just a thought. No. And I could play Brutal Censure just for a card. Doesn't really seem too good, though. But deal myself damage. Final dive. Presents! Brutal Censure. Alright. Let's Arcane Cadence. I want to get the power card so I can do more with Guise out of turn, but I don't have it. I have another Arcane Cadence though. So Syncopated Onslaught and Counterpoint Bulwark are new. So at least let's put one of them on top of my deck. I guess we'll put the Onslaught on top. I'll put a Vernal Sonata on the bottom because that can't hurt. Destroy the Polyphoric Flare. Wow. Both of my Inspiring Supertonics. Oh no, wait, they could be face down. No, presents. Why? I guess if I cycle through my deck and I don't find it, I'm not going to be able to do powers on Argent Adept's turn ever, unless I flip Argent Adept's presence. Actually, I guess I could do that. Can't really go wrong with flipping Argent Adept. He doesn't do much terribleness, unmitigatedly. Okay, card in hand. Rhapsody of Vigor heals Infinitor, so that is a good one. And Syncopated Onslaught, we have 2 copies of. I don't need 2 copies of. So I'm gonna go ahead and put Rhapsody in my hand. Syncopated on top. Scherzo on the bottom. Onslaught in the trash. Arcane Cadence in play. Ah, there they are. They're not presents. They exist. So I don't need both of them. I'll do the Arcane Cadence in hand because I don't need to play it right now. Onslaught on top, Conjuration on the bottom, Supertonic in the trash, Supertonic in play. Alright, there we go. Oh my gosh, a Conjuration! Harp's in my trash at least. Syncopated Onslaught drawn. Regain 2 HP, I don't need to. Use a power, I don't need to. Play a card, I don't need to. I guess I could buffer Overflow out of turn. Not sure I need that though. Let's just cycle through cards, I guess. I don't need both Counterpoint Bulwarks. Are there any duplicate cards? I don't think so. Oh no, yeah, there's Saraband. And we get Subdominant and Vernal Sonata and Iodisar's Horn. And Instrumental Conjuration. I'm thinking the Lyra's face down. So that's going to be important at some point. Are there any new ongoings we would like? Double Exploit Vulnerability would be amusing. But nah. I know what the top of Infinitor's deck is, and I don't want to discard it. Where did I leave that? Guise the Barbarian. Let me see that. I want those. Yes. Good. And presents! These are some inspiring presents. Guise draws. Oh yeah, I'm that guy. Yes, this is viewer's choice. We're probably not going to do the random game this week, but that's okay. Wagner Marsbase, villainous weaponry. Increase damage dealt by villain targets by 1. That will make Infinitor do more damage, but that's okay. No. Infinitor reveals Lambent Reaper. And then Whispers of Oblivion. Everyone's immune to this damage, so stay tuned. This is a good time for the bathroom break. Did you need to get up to get a glass of water? Do so. Ocular Swarm. And then everyone's immune to damage. And just, if you haven't returned to your seats yet, feel free to get more water or use the bathroom a second time. Did you wash your hands? Did you rush back thinking that you needed to get back before you missed something? No. All right, there's a twisted miscreation and 2 machinations of a madman. So, we want that manifestation out, I think. I think we want to flip someone's presence, or start flipping presence. I think we're going to destroy Meteor Storm the next turn. And then we're going to destroy Buffer Overflow to get Infinitor to play a card. So we'll get that out in preparedness. So the 2 twisted miscreations and the machinations. So we'll discard the machinations to keep the twisted miscreation on top. And don't shuffle it. Recompile. All right. No. So can Parse destroy it? Right, she has data mining, so she can destroy environment cards easily. So that's the good news. Heroic Infinitor is a hero target. Yes. Buffer Overflow says when a villain card would enter play, blah, 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 play the top card of the villain deck. So his cards are still villain cards, his deck is still the villain deck, but Infinitor is a hero target. He is also still the villain character card, I think. But he's a hero target. He's just not a villain target, or a non-hero target. Actually, I wonder if he's a villain target. This might have been answered in the fireside chats. But I think that hero target overrides villain target, but he's certainly not a non-hero target. Villainous weaponry didn't seem to boost his damage. Well, it's because everyone's immune to damage, so it doesn't bother with the increases or decreases. Oh! Oh, I see what you're saying. This increases damage dealt by villain targets. Infinitor's not a villain target. Okay. I understand now. I don't think I was even referencing villainous weaponry. But that's a good thing to point out because the manifestations will do more damage, but Infinitor won't. Alright, well... if I'm going to be destroying Meteor Storm on Parse's turn... Divine Focus... yeah, and this verifies that Infinitor is not a hero target, because the villain targets with the highest HP are all manifestations, which have far less HP. So... I think Divine Focus... is probably fine. This is only going to do 1 radiant damage as she discards cards, though. Yeah. It's at least 1 damage to something. Let's play the top card of my deck. It's Sanctifying Strike. Aegis of Resurrection. And then I want to open someone's presence. So I think we're going to do Argent Adept because I probably have the Lyra face down. We have Silver Shadow. So 1 player other than me may play a card. Reveal the Flaws will be useful on Parse's turn. Or at least it'll be useful before Infinitor starts dealing damage to manifestations. At least he'll do more damage to them. We don't want to destroy things yet, though. I don't want to discard cards. And I don't really want to play these cards. I'm betting all of my instrumental conjurations are face down. Actually, all right, one of these is in my deck, and the other five are face down. So that's useful information. But what do I even want to do? I don't even know what card I want to play. Let's just have Fanatic Brutal Censure to get another card, I guess. Like End of Days, that's a useful card. He wants to play a card. Where's his lyras or his harps in play? Okay. So I think we want to utilize Syncopated Onslaught, and the only way to do that is via Zoo's Bell, which is in his trash. Yes. So I want to play a Conjuration to get Zoo's Bell. We draw Scarrets of Frost and Flame. So now I know exactly what's face down. It's the Lyra. It's the Vernal Sonata. And all right. Oh boy. Brutal Censure. I guess she's just gonna draw it, but that's okay. Oh boy. Silver Shadow, I guess. Where did I leave that? Rhapsody of Vigor. Instrumental Conjuration. They're all in my trash. Deck has one card, which I put on there, so. Pipes, sure. Silver Shadow. Vernal Sonata. All my Vernal Sonatas are face down. Sanctifying Strike. And I don't even remember what I put on top. Oh, I guess it was, okay, I know what it was. Polyphoric Flare. All right, we finished. Presents are all flipped. Do 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 do. I could just chain Silver Shadows, but I don't have cards I want played just yet. Well, I guess I could have Fanatic smite the Transgressor to use Resolute to have another power. But I already have a lot of powers going on. Arcane Cadence is gonna be a little silly because I don't have enough cards in my deck. I'm just gonna conjure for my last instrument, I guess. All right. I don't even need to do this whole freaking combo. Do I have the damage increasing in one in play? I don't, really? I'm gonna have to play it then. And still feel like I don't have cards for this. Oh, I guess if I, yeah, sure, whatever. Here. Fanatic, smite the Transgressor. And then do no damage, play a Brutal Censure, draw a card, let Guise put presents under the tree. He's gonna flip his presents on his turn. Presents! And then, oh man. Do I have more things here? Sure. Okay. I guess all these cards are sort of in play. I don't need the Arcane Cadence at this point, I don't think. And no, not Vernal Sonata. I know you don't normally discard that card, but those are exciting draws. No. Skip. Ooh, if Guise copies Divine Focus with Guise the Barbarian. Ooh. Alright. I don't really have all the cards I want for this, but I'm gonna sell out. Although I guess I could flip Guise's Presence, and we might get lucky with things, so... First is a Look What I Found, which doesn't deal damage, but I can increase the next damage dealt by Guise by 1. Let me see that. Has to copy something. So I guess we'll just steal the Aegis. Say Cheese has 5 or fewer HP, so I can play a card. I'm already going to be playing a bunch of cards on the environment turn. They're potentially going to be all ongoing cards. I don't want to gimmick a character. I'm going to retcon, because I can safely retcon. I'll get rid of Villainous Weaponry. And I'll draw a card, like retcon.
Don't hate me because I'm beautiful.
Gimmick a character. No! Not that one! Oh well, it happened. If I reveal the top card, and there is no card... Does that mean that the rest of the text doesn't happen? I guess we're gonna see. Let's just see what happens. No HP regained. Actually, it should have probably said... Alright, I don't know. It said no targets were revealed to Guise regain no HP. I wonder what it said the first time, because Guise was at max HP. I can play a card. At this point, I don't really want to retcon. Are there environment cards that when they enter play, they destroy? I guess the worst thing that can happen is I get 2 Meteor Storms. We discarded a Pervasive Red Dust and a Self-Destruct sequence. I guess I could play Oh Yeah, I'm That Guy, and then I can discard the other Oh Yeah, I'm That Guy. And I might draw another ongoing card. Let me see, that's already in play. Where did I leave that? Oh Yeah, I'm That Guy in Super Ultra Kawaii. What's in my trash? I can do that too! Actually, this would be an amusing thing with Fanatic Space Power and Total Beefcake. The first time Guise will be dealt damage each turn. Redirect that damage to the non-hero target with the lowest HP, which could be a manifestation. But, oh right, I needed to be able to retcon Buffer Overflow for my plan to work. Anyway, so we're not even going to reach that point. Unless I put out Super Ultra Kawaii. We have 7 cards. If I discard 2, I'm going to be at 5, and I'm going to draw a card back. So no, I got what I was looking for, I guess. Extreme! Although I guess Argent Adept could get Guise to play cards. There are cards in the trash. That's right. Alright. This next round is the one where stuff happens. Be prepared. I don't want to discard. Guise doesn't want to discard. Oxygen leak. Did I play Selling Out? I did play Selling Out. I could destroy Meteor Storm and then have the oxygen leaks go off. And then once everyone's almost dead, but all the manifestations are at 0, I could play the top card of Infinitor's deck and have him destroy the rest of the manifestations, but I'd need selling out for that, which I've played. But I think this is fine as is. Argent Adept has enough cards, but I do need to leave at least one in play so Parse can destroy one, because Parse can only destroy one if there are 2 or more in play. So I'll go ahead and have Argent Adept discard. He has enough cards. Alright, I have to discard a card in order to play 3 cards. So let's lose. Oh yeah, I'm that guy. And we want Blatant Reference. And we want Guise the Barbarian. And we want Extreme. Actually, now I can't use Fanatic Space Power because I can't redirect that damage anymore, but that's okay. Alright, so we're destroying Meteor Storm. Coming up next. Twisted Miscreation. No. And damage, right, okay. So, still immune to damage across the board. So if we get past this turn, we should make the money. All right. Do I want to skip the rest of my turn? I don't want to skip the rest of my turn. No. So I would really like to have Reveal the Flaws in play. I can get that in play on Fanatic's turn at least. But Reveal the Flaws coupled with Fanatic and Guise should be able to utilize that. So data mining. Destroy Meteor Storm. We can deal damage for the first time in 40 minutes. Okay. I do not need to manipulate the deck. Do I? Well... What cards are in the deck? He played the Manifestation. That's somehow shuffled to the top of his deck, fortunately. So... I mean, I guess it doesn't really matter because the only ones that deal damage deals each target damage. And no target will be destroyed because manifestations are indestructible and heroes do not get destroyed, they get incapacitated. So I don't need to manipulate the villain deck. So instead I can deal 1 point of damage to something. So I'll opt for Twisted Miscreation, I suppose. Parse draws extrasensory awareness. So Guise's damage is irreducible, so he can discard something. And I might as well do this to the Twisted Miscreations because they need to be at 1 or fewer. So Infinitor cannot get a card underneath him unless the manifestation has already 1 or fewer HP. So I need to get as many... So for those of you who aren't following along with what my master plan is, I'm going to do as much damage as I can to manifestations with the heroes. Now, if I just wait for Infinitor's turn to come around, his deck is now entirely composed of one-shots. So when he reveals the top card of his deck, it's not going to be a manifestation. So he's going to shuffle it back into his deck, and then each manifestation is restored to its maximum HP. Which means that when he then starts chaining the one-shots, he's going to start doing damage to all targets, but he won't be hitting manifestations with 1 or fewer HP. So I'm going to shortcut that by not waiting until his turn. I'm going to get him to play a card, and the way I can get him to play a card is to destroy Buffer Overflow, because it says when this card is destroyed, draw a card and play the top card of the villain deck. So then Infinitor starts playing the one-shots, but the manifestations are not at max HP, so we can potentially end the game faster. So to that end, I'm now going to try to get as many manifestations to 1 or fewer as possible. If I can get all of them, great. If I can't, that's okay, because I probably can't. But at least we can make sure that like the twisted miscreations are at 1 or fewer, because those are the ones who have damage reduction in addition to the other things. Although I guess if I get Reveal the Flaws into play, we don't need to worry about that as much. Alright, discard a card to deal the villain target with the highest HP damage. So, I don't need the Aegis. This isn't going to be as much damage as I would like, but that's okay. I do want this damage to go. Ooh, Oxygen Leak actually reduced it by a bunch. It's super, super good that I destroyed the first Oxygen Leak, because without the second one, I wouldn't have been able to deal myself damage. Wow, that was a lucky coincidence. Discard a card, because this is copying the Divine Focus, and now I can damage a Twisted Miscreation with this, which is irreducible. And so now, Brutal Censure is the only thing that will deal damage. So I'll just keep whittling down something, I guess. Prayer of Desperation. Deal myself damage. Play... What was that? Undaunted. That's fine. Adept's now gonna chain things. But we need to get Parse to play a card. So I could use a power. If I activate Zoo's Bell, I could increase damage dealt by Guise by 1, but we're already past his damage dealing start of turn. It would only affect his end of turn. I need to use Syncopated Onslaught on Argent Adept's turn, I think. Just to help with Infinitor's damage. So... Guise doesn't have any more cards face down. All of those are going to get destroyed on Guise's turn, but that's okay. The question is, do I want a power or do I want a card play? Do I want to use another instrument? I don't really have much in the way of songs that would be useful to play. I don't have much in the way of powers that would be interesting to use. I guess if I flip Fanatic's presence, but I want to flip them after I have damage irreduction. Oh boy. This is when Argent Adept turns take forever. I'll just have Parse play the card first. Alright, so now our damage is irreducible. So I could do 1 sonic damage or have someone else play a card. And... well... those aren't really cards we want in play. So I guess we'll just do the damage. So now the Recalcitrant Hellion is at 1 or fewer. And then discard 2, draw 3, use a power. Oh, I guess if I use a power, then I can put the bottom card of my deck in play, like Arcane Cadence. I just wanted to do this so I could activate the accompany of something. I don't really know what order I want these. I don't know that these are even useful at this point. We can get more HP. I don't really care. I don't think I really care for these. Oh, Embolden would have been nice at some point in that game. Let's get Polyphoric Flare, I guess. I don't know. Look what I found. Now I can activate the Accompany. So I could use a power. Which I probably could have done in the first place. The Accompany of a Rhythm would allow for a card play, right? So then I could use the Melody to regain HP. Sure, because I've already... Electrotus Abdominant is getting destroyed, so I might as well use its Accompany as much as I can. So here we go. One player other than me may play a card. Who wanted to do this in the first place? Did I not even want to do this? I don't even know. I feel like I lost track of what I was trying to do. I should probably rewind to the start of this turn so I could properly figure out what I want to do, huh? Let's just Sanctifying Strike, because now my damage is irreducible. And Exploit Vulnerability is increasing this by 1, so he's already at 1. Yay! Embolden. Alright, now what? Oh yeah, HPs. Here we go. Alrighty. Thank you for tuning in to this week's Dolphin Dive, where we spend ages figuring out what we want to do. We can still deal damage to something. That reduces it to 1. And then this is not increased by 1. Sadness. But Guise can reduce 1 to 1 or less. Alright, I wish I had the ability to give Guise a card draw so he could do more damage, but we're not going to be able to get all of these down to 4 or fewer after all. I guess, let's see. Silver Shadow, have Fanatic play Embolden on Argent Adept. Here we go. Play a card. So now I can use 2 powers. I don't need to feed myself powers. So I could have Fanatic do a thing and also have Guise do a thing. I don't know that Guise could do a thing. Didn't I heal him? Or did I skip that? Oops. Oh well, doesn't matter. I do want to get that counterpoint Bulwark in place so I can activate its Accompany so that Guise could draw a card. Why do we not have enough damage dealing one-shots? Ooh, here we go. Silver Shadow to deal 1 damage to the Recalcitrant Hellion. Alright. 1 more bites the dust. Play a card. And then I guess I'm going to have to get that counterpoint out. So now first power. I don't have... What are my harmonies? Sadistic Dissonance and Inspiring Supertonic. Are those the only harmonies? I could either discard 2, draw 3, or regain HP at max. That's a tad boring. So I think at some point I wanted to Zeus Bell to increase damage dealt by Infinitor by 1. Probably also want to do that on Fanatic so that she can get another manifestation to 1 or fewer. Yeah, so I don't necessarily need to Harp, but I do want to Lyra. So I guess I'll start with the bell so I can onslaught. Increase Infinitor, increase Fanatic, and then I think we wanted, let's see. I can give Guise a card draw. So this should go off before it destroys itself, right? He should be able to do Divine Focus's thing before, oh yeah, and that guy destroys itself, right? Yeah, I'm trying to, well, so the first one shot that deals damage to everything should deal 3 damage now to the manifestations. And we should survive because we're certainly higher than 4. And then the second round should kill the manifestations for sure. I just want to see if I can get this so that heroes don't take any damage at all. So I guess if I'm going to do... Yeah, so I want Guise to draw 2 cards because then he can discard for both the end of turn here and the start of turn on the next turn. Oh, but we don't have... Oh, shoot. Well, I sure hope that I have the means of destroying ongoing cards because I totally forgot that I need to destroy an ongoing card. Okay, what are the chances that Fanatic has Consecrated Ground face down? I don't think it's that big. I totally forgot I needed an ongoing card destruction. I think I discarded it without thinking. Oh boy, I have to rewind to start a Fanatic's turn if I want that back. So instead I'm going to have to destroy it manually. All right. As much fun as this was, I'm going to just end it. So... yeah. I forgot that I need to destroy Buffer Overflow, and I discarded, I believe I discarded Retcon a few turns ago. So let's just end it. So here's Machinations. He's dealing damage to everyone, so we can at least get these face down. Fool! See, I'm supposed to be smart, but it's also like 9:30 right now. So I'm not being smart. But I can at least get some of these face down, and the others will take 3 irreducible damage, and then the next damaging one shot will kill them for sure. And actually, the damage to Guise will redirect, so I can... Guise will not take the damage, and then a manifestation that's not put under him is gonna get put under him. Okay, so I can damage the Lambent Reaper, and then I can redirect Guises to the Lambent Reaper because he's a total beefcake, and now no one else can really be helped. But that's okay. This game has gone on too long. I think everyone's just given up. Everyone's like, ah, well, that was a fun week of Dolphins Dive. I'm just gonna come back next week when we play Iron Legacy. All right. Insanity. Crazed Artifice is not gonna reveal any manifestations. Whispers of Oblivion, and here we go. This ends it. Whoop-de-doo! That would have been a bit better had I gotten that super set up, but since I messed up, I could have ended the game 20 minutes earlier, and everyone would have been more amused. Oh well, we defeated Challenge Heroic Infinitor on stream. And we did it with Santa Guise. But I guess that's not a surprise, because Santa Guise delivers all the presents. Alright. So unfortunately, it is 9:30. It's getting to be late. So we only played 2 games this week, but hopefully they were good games. The first one is probably a little more interesting than the second one, but Oh well, first time I did Heroic Infinitor on stream. The third game would have been a completely randomized game. I guess I could just go ahead and show you what the game would have been. Here is the alternate reality, where I mash this button repeatedly to get team, and then I mash this button repeatedly to get challenge, and then I mash this button repeatedly to get Proletariat, Baron Blade, Airmine, Fright Train against Skyscraper, Scholar of the Infinite, Eternal Haka, and Parse, and Time Cataclysm. That would have been the random game that we played. Unfortunately, that's not happening. So maybe we'll do that next week. Maybe we can choose that to be the viewer's choice game. Maybe I'll just pick this up and do it for the randomized game next week or something. I don't know. But that does wrap up Dolphin's Dive this week. So time for the outro. I believe I need to double check something though. Okay, yeah, Tales from the Archive is moved to May 7th. That's the only thing I need to point out. Yeah, let me read. Oh, where's the spiel? It's there. Okay. So, I guess, yeah. So, what I was mentioning, Tales from the Archive is normally Saturdays at 7. That's the next upcoming stream. However, this week it's moved to Sunday at 7 as a temporary measure. I don't remember what the reason is, but he's not going to be able to make it on Saturday. So if you want to catch Zach, aka Another Letdown, you'll have to see him on Sunday with Tales from the Archive. And of course, Sentinels Live is always on Tuesday with Jeremy and John. But also tomorrow is the developer stream with John. I believe he said that's at 1 p.m. tomorrow Eastern time. I will not be able to catch that because I work at that time. But that's also when he works, which is why he's doing that stream. So be sure to check that out if you really love seeing development of the game. If you're really interested in the game and you wonder what goes on behind the scenes, you should certainly just check that out. And then, of course, next week on Thursday is my next Dolphins Dive. So you can catch that next week. 2 weeks from now, I'm not going to have a stream because I'm going to be in Utah for a gaming thing. If you've heard of RPG Limit Break, I'm going to be there. It's a week-long event, speedrunning RPGs, and I'm actually going to be speedrunning Final Fantasy 13 too. So check that out if you are interested in that game, or just RPGs in general, or speedrunning. But 2 weeks from now, I'm not streaming. Next week is fine. 3 weeks from now is fine. 2 weeks from now is not fine. Anyway, you just watched Handelabra Games. You can follow us at Handelabra on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube, and Handelabra Games right here on Twitch. You can follow Lou Dolphin on Twitter at LouDolphin21. That's the only place where that 21 is important. YouTube and Twitch is just Lou Dolphin, no numbers, although YouTube's a little funny because my URL says a different name. Sentinels of the Multiverse is available for iOS, Android, PC, Mac, and Linux via Steam, always via good old analog cardboard and ink if you've enjoyed watching these games and you want to take part in them yourselves. And you can get the game and more info at sentinelsdigital.com. All right, that's a good night from me. Hope you enjoyed it. I sure did. So let's go to the menu and pull up music. What shall we play? Enclave of the Endlings, I think. Good nights.
The Enclave of the Endlings.